Welcome to Brine. Fresh salsa tastes bright, but fermented salsa tastes deeper. And depth doesn't come from ingredients, it comes from time. This salsa has been working quietly for 7 days. Let me show you what I did. I started with 600 grams of ripe tomatoes. To build layers of flavor, I added onion, garlic and fresh chili. I chopped all the ingredients into small pieces and then weighted them to calculate the total weight. Here it shows 663 grams. For simplicity, we can round it to about 700 grams. Then comes the most important ingredients, salt. I used 3% salt by total weight because I plan to ferment this for 7 days. At 3%, fermentation happens slowly and steadily. It builds complexity without becoming overly sour. In fermentation, salt is not just seasoning. It creates the perfect environment for beneficial bacteria to grow. It protects the salsa while allowing natural transformation to happen. And make sure you don't use regular iodized table salt. Always use natural salts like Himalayan salt or sea salt as they work much better for fermentation. After mixing everything with salt, I let it rest for about 10 minutes. You will notice the tomatoes begin releasing their juices. That liquid is important. I packed everything tightly into a clean glass jar. Press it down firmly. To keep everything submerged, I placed a large cabbage leaf over the mixture, and on top of that, I added a small glass weight to gently press it down. Over the next day or two, the tomatoes slowly release more juice, and gradually everything settles under its own natural brine. This is exactly what we want, complete submersion. Fermentation works best when vegetables stay fully under liquid. After just 24 hours, you begin to see small bubbles forming. The aroma becomes slightly tangy. It's subtle, but you can tell something is happening. At this stage, it's still fresh, just beginning its journey. Seven days later, the transformation is clear. The color deepens, the aroma becomes richer, the acidity develops naturally without any vinegar. Because I used 3% salt, the fermentation stayed stable and clean. This is where the flavor becomes layered, not just spicy, not just sour, but rounded and complex. But this is where I take it one step further. I add fresh cilantro, also known as coriander leaves, 1 spoon of lemon juice for brightness, and roasted cumin seed powder. The roasted cumin adds warmth and earthiness. Yes, it makes the salsa slightly brownish, but the flavor becomes incredibly balanced. And remember, I did not need to add more salt. The fermentation already seasons it perfectly. Once the salsa is blended, I transfer it into a clean glass jar and seal it tightly. Since my room temperature is around 30 degrees Celsius, I store it in the refrigerator to slow everything down and prevent over-fermentation. Inside the fridge, the salsa will continue fermenting very slowly, but in a much more controlled way. At this stage, it can easily last for 1 to 2 weeks when kept refrigerated. And now the fermented salsa is ready, deeper in flavor, naturally tangy, and rich in beneficial bacteria that support gut health. This salsa pairs beautifully with fried foods. It cuts through richness with nachos. It replaces regular salsa entirely. In sandwiches, it adds depth and tang. It tastes alive. This is the beauty of fermentation. You start with simple tomatoes, and after 7 days you get something deeper than the original. No shortcuts, no vinegar, just time doing its quiet work. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoy learning how simple ingredients transform naturally, consider liking this video and subscribing. There is much more to explore.